Nick Earnshaw, baby. We are back. It is the shift. It's a beautiful day outside. Obviously, I'm inside right now. Nick, you're inside too. I will be outside. I will be outside in a couple of hours playing some tennis. I'm playing a lot of tennis today, baby.
I know you are.
Yeah, much better sport than you partake in.
Who won the poll? Who won the poll? Golf won the poll.
I don't remember who won the poll, bro.
Golf won.
I wasn't.
I remember.
Good for you. What were you monitoring that every 5 seconds?
Yes, I was. I was waiting. I was counting down. Like, you know how on Twitter it says the poll countdown. You have like 10 minutes left. I was like counting down each second.
Yeah, you're counting down. You're like, oh my god, look, am I gonna win? Blah blah blah. No,
I was like,
yeah.
My golf brethrens and sisters, we won.
Is that what they call them? The brethrens? Isn't it brethrens?
I don't know. Brethrens.
You've got to be kidding. You just lost the poll. You lost the poll. I take 10% away from the poll. Back to me. Yeah, there it is. Tennis is better than golf.
I'm going to get you back. I'm going to get you on
all
the
golf listeners. Course, right? Yeah, all right. I'll get to the golf course. I'll school you. Listen, last time I played golf with somebody that has played golf for a long time, I kicked their ass. Okay?
Yeah, right. So you're just making things up at this point.
I don't make things up. I just tell the truth. That's what I do, bro. Listen,
all right. Okay. All right.
So,
well, I'm gonna get on the I'm gonna get on the tennis court at some point too, and I'll show you.
Oh my god! I don't want to embarrass you, bro.
I
don't want to embarrass you. I don't want to embarrass you.
We're gonna come back to the show with the scorecard. When we go out golfing, we're gonna come out with that scorecard, and then we're gonna have we're gonna have a video of like when I beat you after tennis.
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna save you some embarrassment now. Right. I'm gonna go work on my tennis game with some people that actually play tennis. You go play golf. Go play that sport where you're wearing khakis and polos and whatever you're doing.
Great time. It's a great time. You get to dress up a little bit. I got the Jordan Spieths as my golf shoes.
Are they like Jordans? Are they the Jordans of?
They're the
golf?
Jordans, right? I guess they're the Jordans of golf.
See,
literally,
they can't even do their own original thing. They have to be the Jordans. Come on, bro.
The Jordans of golf.
Bro. By the way, real quick, before we start,
I
do you want me to give you a review of Air Jordan?
Let me see it first, and let's do it on the next.
Yeah, all right.
Because I still need to see it.
Right. How about you just close your ears and I'll tell the audience, and then.
All right. Well, these are kind of on my ears, but I guess I have to take them off, right? I don't know.
No. Listen. Go see it. We'll reconvene and we'll talk about it once you go see it. Go see Cinderella. What do you want to see with your girlfriend?
Barbie's coming out.
Oh yeah, Cinderella Barbie, whatever it is. So go watch that. But look, it feels like baseball weather today outside, and
hitting season? Hitting weather?
Yeah, hitting season, baby. I'll be playing some tennis, but it's gonna be feeling like baseball weather. You know, maybe I'll be playing some softball soon. Who knows? But Nick, let's get to some baseball talk, because that's what we do here on this show. We have to lead with, and I'm gonna get to a few. We actually got an injury update within the last hour. We're gonna get to as well a couple of injury updates that are pretty big to me, especially one big one that happened a couple of days ago. But we had to start with, obviously we're a baseball show. We have to start with the Tampa Bay Rays are 10-0 after beating the Boston Red Sox 1-0. Yes, they broke their streak of winning every game by at least 4 runs. I mean, they're leading freaking baseball, and 25 home runs doesn't make any freaking sense. I can't comprehend what is happening with the Tampa Bay Rays, but you know what, Nick? It's baseball. These are the things that happen. The Rays are 10-0. Maybe they lose the next 10 games and they come back down to earth. I don't know. Nick, what is going on?
I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I mean, like, if you go back and listen to our preview, just you could disregard where we placed the Rays, I guess, at this point in the season.
You have to disregard it. Give us hell. I don't care. we had them, 85, 86 wins? They're on pace to break that by double.
Oh man, like this is what is it? Since like 1987, no teams opened the season. Yeah, opened the season 10-0. I mean, this is unbelievable. I mean, they do everything right. I mean, they can do no wrong at this point. I mean, yes, they had the Oakland A's too. I mean, they had some easy games. All right, fine. But I mean, imagine when they get Glasnow back.
I know. What is his timetable? By the way,
is he coming back in May? I think May. Is he going to come back in May?
I'm going to double check, but it's regardless. Like it's a big deal. But then again, dude, like their rotation, their bullpen, it doesn't matter who they had there sometimes, right? Like Jeffrey Springs, he's been nasty. Yep. McClanahan, we know McClanahan. Drew Rasmussen, They're nasty. Like these are guys, man, because you know what? That's what the Rays do. Peter Fairbanks in the bullpen, Colin Poche, Jason Adam. Like these are guys for them because this is what the Rays do.
I know. Listen, the Rays, they're always this sneaky team. They have these players that really like people are like, who is that? And it's like they develop players at such an elite clip. I love watching the Rays play baseball. I hope they prove us wrong from our preview episode and they win 90 plus games this year and shock everyone, maybe even win that division. I don't know if it'll happen because that's a talented division. Looking at it, I mean, my goodness, you have the Blue Jays were 6-4. The Yankees are 6-4. The Orioles aren't playing bad baseball either. They're at 500 right now, and so are the Red Sox. Everyone's off to a decent start in that division, but the Rays are on another level right now.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense, man. I don't know when they're going to lose another game. Maybe they won't. Maybe they just won't lose again.
162
again this year. I mean, it's never been done, but it's gotta happen at some point, right?
Hey, there's a chance. I mean, they're 10 and they haven't lost yet. They're on their way.
Listen, man, I don't know. This Rays team is good. Maybe they're better than we thought. But really what it comes down to, man, is like Wander Franco's got to stay healthy. He's had a blazing hot start. Brandon Lau has had a really good start. I mean, look, 25 home runs. I mean, look, I'm looking down at the list right now on their roster. 4 home runs from Franco, 3 from Lau, 2 from Diaz. Literally everyone in their starting lineup at least has a home run. It makes sense. They're leading with 25 home runs in majors. Manuel Margot, Luke Raley. Luke Raley's had 3. He's cooled off a little bit since we last did our pod or last episode. But look, man, they're obviously they're going to come back down to earth. We know that. Yes. But this is baseball. This is why we love it, because of things like this, things that we don't expect, where the Tampa Bay Rays start off 10-0. I think the last team was the Kansas City Royals in 2003. That Kansas City Royals team, you know where they finished 83 wins and like 3rd in the AL Central, I believe, or somewhere like that. So, I mean, honestly, Nick, this start has happened with the Rays, but going back to our preview, it might end up being like we said with the preview. I still think the Yankees are better. Still think the Blue Jays are better. Orioles, they might be hovering around where the Rays are. But New York, Toronto, better right now. Still.
Yeah, listen, it's April. It's April 11th as we're recording this podcast today, right?
I'm glad you can read. Good job.
I know. I can a little bit at least. I know numbers too. 1 + 1 is 2, so I can do that too.
Right. You're a baseball guy, so I mean, obviously,
all over the place. Right. Well-rounded. Got to be well-rounded, Francisco. And the Tampa Bay Rays, they're well-rounded right now.
They are.
Offensively, offensively, they're playing extremely well. Wander Franco, if he could stay healthy, man, it's going to be huge for this line. You need that consistency out of these young guys that they have coming up through their system, and I think they're going to be able to do it. They'll get Glass now back at some point. Mm-hmm. It's a good team. The Rays are going to be competing for a playoff spot. There's no doubt in my mind. Now, 10-0, I get it. It's great. It's a great start to the season, but we got a lot of baseball left. I mean, there's a lot of games left. There's too much. I mean, just look at the Phillies last year. I mean, they started off under 500, fired their manager. They were in the World Series. I mean, so much can change from now until September, October. I mean, so much can change. Injuries happen. Other teams get hot. It's just the nature of the beast in Major League Baseball. So great start for the Rays. If they can continue it, great, because they do have a talented roster, talented team. Very tough division to do it in.
Yeah, and just one more thing. I mean, like, look, dude, Rays are 10-0. They win their 10th game. Sandy Alcantara, reigning Cy Young Award winner, gets lit up for 5 to 6 runs last night. Phillies put up 15 runs.
Was it 9 earned? Yeah, did he get 9 earned because when he left?
When he left, right?
He had runners on, and those. Yeah, I think they were charged to him.
So baseball's crazy, man. Yep.
Yeah, and it's his kryptonite. The Phillies are Sandy's kryptonite. I mean, we knew that last year.
Yeah, but I mean, we never let him up that much. I mean, yeah, we've gotten him in the past, but not that crazy.
Didn't they score 6 runs on him last year at some point, the Phillies?
Did they?
I think they did.
I think they said in the broadcast that he had only 3 instances last year where he gave up 5 earned or more. And I'm sure the Phils were probably one of those.
They probably were.
All right. Yeah, so let's get to a few injury updates. I'll save the O'Neil Cruz one next. I just want to bring up some of the breaking news that we got within the last hour or so before we started the show. Ian Anderson, who I think let me read Jeff Passan's tweet here. I have it right here. There it is. Atlanta Braves right-hander Ian Anderson will undergo Tommy John surgery. Sources tell him after a difficult 2022 season where he was not good last year. He started the year at AAA and struggled in his first start before being diagnosed with a torn UCL. He's expected to return in 2024. That sucks, man. It sucks.
Yeah.
I think he was one of the better young pitchers a couple of years ago. Hopefully, he can have a good rehab, a good good build up back to when he's going to come back in 2024. But kind of stinks, man. Not good for if you're a Braves fan. Not good for the future.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough one for the Braves. I mean, yeah, he's had his injury struggles now the past couple of seasons. Listen, he was regarded as a pretty decent pitcher if you just a couple of years ago. So
remember, real quick, remember the playoffs, 2020 playoffs, the shortened season. He was nasty.
He was ridiculous.
He was like starting World Series games for them.
Yeah,
I think,
and that's why, it stinks to see all these injuries kind of start to derail his career a little bit. Now he's going to miss the entire year. He was back on track a little bit. You don't want to see it. You don't want to see guys go down with injury. I mean, yeah, it's part of the game. It does happen, but man, I mean, to see him be out for the year after some of the struggles he's had, it's tough. I mean, it's tough to bounce back from these type of injuries too. I mean, when you're going out for a full season, you have to rev yourself back up. You have to get back into game shape as well. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for him. So hopefully it's a speedy recovery, good rehab throughout the next year, and hopefully he can return maybe to that form we saw just a couple of years ago.
Yeah, totally agree there, bud. So let's get to the I guess the Ian Anderson one here is big, but even bigger one because it also incited a benches clearing brawl. Whoever's fault you thought it was between O'Neil Cruz from the Pittsburgh Pirates slid into home plate just a few days ago. Slid into Sebi Zavala, the White Sox catcher, and it was a very, very awkward slide. You could hear, and if you go back on Twitter and you hear the sound bite, Sebi Zavala definitely wasn't too happy with the way O'Neil Cruz slid into him, and I think Carlos Santana started to get into it with Zavala, and it was a whole thing. I know Michael Kopech from the White Sox was hot. So that whole thing happened, but
Carlos Santana had a few words too, as well. I think he was exchanging words during this.
That's what I mean. I think that was like part of why it started because of him and Zavala were really going at it. So, I mean, the big thing here is though, after, seeing that injury, against the Houston Astros, O'Neil Cruz is going to miss 4 months after he underwent surgery on Sunday evening. I believe it was for a broken ankle. So not great to see if you're a Pirates fan or a baseball fan. I think all of us baseball fans, we like to watch O'Neil Cruz play. He is a beast. I mean, he is a specimen. I keep using that's a term I keep using when I watch him is like, what the heck is this? He's as tall as Aaron Judge. He's fast. He's quick. He's got the power like Aaron Judge as well. He's got the defense. I mean, it sucks for baseball, man. It sucks. Just like I said with Ian Anderson, hoping for a speedy recovery when it comes to O'Neil Cruz. What are your thoughts overall, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, this was a crazy situation. I mean, when you see him slide, his foot kind of got stuck underneath of him. You don't want to see that for a young player, right? Absolutely. I mean, 24 years old. Last year finished 6th in NL Rookie of the Year voting. He was off to a really good start this year. I mean, batting .267, a home run, 4 ribbies, 2 stolen bases before he got hurt. He was off to a good start, and he's got a lot of power. He's an exciting player for that Pirates fan base. Pirates haven't had a lot to cheer about in recent memory, so they get a good young player in O'Neil Cruz that they developed. These injuries are just killing me this year. I mean, we've seen some top flight players go down. And for O'Neil Cruz, at such a young age, he's on his way, just kind of starting out in his career. I don't want to see it go down. And, having the whole brawl happen and It was ridiculous. I mean, for the Pirates and for the White Sox, I mean, you don't want to see Zavala say something like that to O'Neil Cruz. The guy's like literally injured, laying there, and I don't know, just not a great look on Sunday during that injury, that whole brawl. But yeah, I feel for O'Neil Cruz, man. Off to a really good start. Had a pretty decent season last year. Coming up into the bigs, into the Pirates lineup. So yeah, this is a tough one for the Pirates. I mean, they haven't had a lot to cheer about in recent memory, like I mentioned, and had to see a top flight player and a young player that everyone's excited about in Pittsburgh go down for 4 months. That's the majority of the season.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost the rest of the season, man.
Yeah.
He might be back September. So, I mean, I'm actually looking at the slide right now. I mean, it was awkward for both players.
Yeah.
So I don't think, I mean, I don't know if Zavala knew that Cruz was hurt, like when he said that stuff.
He
like,
probably didn't, but
yeah,
it's just you're in the heat of the moment, and
right. He said "F you, you F and B." I think that's what he said, something like that. He's like, "What the F are you doing?" I think that's what he said. But yeah, if you go to Twitter and you search it, you can hear.
You'll be able to find. We don't have to explain. You get the idea.
Right. We keep it PG, a little, PG like
13, 12, sort of. PG 12.
Yeah, like, yeah, right. 12. I mean, that's just right where you're, right where you can.
It's my age group, right?
Right. Yeah, right. Exactly. I'm glad you're not shying away from that.
I'm on board.
Yes, you're on board because you have to be. I mean, which way are you going to go? You're going to go one way or the other. You're going to face the truth, or you're not going to face the truth.
I know.
So, all right. So, yeah, speedy recovery to both those players, Ian Anderson, O'Neil Cruz. Hated to see those two things, or hated to see the Cruz thing happen. So let's get into, as I called this, Nick, the meat and the potatoes of the podcast today. I think that's what we're going to call it from now on.
The meat and potatoes of the podcast.
Yes, the meat and potatoes of today's.
Now I'm hungry.
Yeah, I am too. I had breakfast at 8:30 in the morning. I had eggs. I had toast, and I had a clementine.
There you go. I had some Fruit Loops when I woke up.
Oh my God, you really are 13. Oh my God,
some Fruit Loops, and I had some oranges today, so I peeled some.
Okay, I see you went with some sugar. You went with the fake sugar and the real sugar.
Real sugar.
Real sugar.
Yeah, not too balanced, but it's what I had.
No, it's okay. Oranges is better. Like you're like a soccer player.
Oh no! Don't that. Come on.
You know what I'm talking about, right? When you're soccer, when you play soccer, when you're young, you have orange slices.
The orange slices. Yes, I'm aware, but I wasn't a soccer player.
All right, let's get to the potatoes, the meat of the show. Let's talk about our power rankings so far for 2023. Yes, we are only 10 days in, but why not? Because when it's early on in the season, sometimes you have to make do with what you got. We're also going to get to our all-time lineup for a certain franchise. We're gonna lay out the new series for you guys. We're gonna get to that in just a second, but let's get to our power rankings. Nick, George Earnshaw, why don't you give me your top 5? We're gonna do top 5. We're not gonna do top 10 like ESPN and MLB.com do sometimes. We're gonna do top 5 because we want to get a little into our all-time lineups when it comes to this one franchise. Nick, give me your top 5 right now.
All right.
Count down from 5. Count down from 5.
Yes. So from 5, we're going to start with the Padres. Have to go with the Padres. They're off to a pretty good start to the season. I like where they're at. I think, they're coming around. They're 6-5 to start the year. I think that'll continue to widen. That gap will widen between wins and losses. But I think the Padres are a good start. They won 3 of 4 on the road. So I think Padres are 5. Blue Jays, I had them at 4. And the reason I have the Blue Jays, at 4 is because they started the season 10 games on the road and they're 6-4. I think that's pretty impressive to go on the road 10 straight games, be 6-4, be right there in the division. I mean, right behind the Tampa Bay Rays. We know they're 10-0, fine. But I think the Blue Jays going on the road, starting the season off strong. I think they have a lot of talent on that team. Vlad Guerrero, Bo Bichette, I mean, you name it. They have a lot of talent on that team. And I think we're both in agreement that the Blue Jays are going to make some noise this year in the AL East. So Blue Jays at 4. I have the Brewers at 3. Listen, the Brewers playing really good baseball right now. They're 7-3. They're kind of shocking a lot of people to start the season as well. They're not 10-0 like the Rays, but 7-3, leading that division in the Central, I think is pretty pretty impressive right now. I mean, Pirates are 6-4 too. Another team that you wouldn't think be 6-4 at this point, but 7-3. The Brewers, they're my number 3 team. Number 2, I have the Braves. I really like where the Braves are at. I hate to say that, but the Braves, I mean, they're just ridiculous, man. I think they're in a really, really good spot. And I think, I feel like they've gotten off to some slow starts to the season. And now this year, I think they're off to a little bit of a better start. So I have the Braves at 2. Number 1, the team we led the show with, Tampa Bay Rays. They are my top team in my power rankings.
How are you leaving the Houston Astros out?
I'll get to the Astros. I'll get to the Astros. No, I'm talking. We're right now. The Astros. All right, fine. Not
fine. Yeah, you know what?
By the
you
end
do
of the
your
season.
own little. Yeah, it's fine.
They'll be at the top by the end of the season. I don't really care.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this is.
And they didn't they get off to a slow start last year too in the first couple of weeks.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. This is absurd. I don't understand your. The Brewers. I don't care if the Brewers are 7-3. Why they shouldn't be in your top 5?
They're 7-3. They're 7-3 right now.
7-3.
They're 7-3. These are the power rankings for like the first 10 games.
Yeah, 7-3. I'm not gonna just because of record. I'm not gonna trust somebody's record. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I will trust one. Well, hold on. I want to let you finish your spiel here because I'll get to mine.
No. Listen. I think the Brewers 7-3. It's a great start. I'm doing these power rankings based upon how they've played in the first few games of the season. Right. And I like where the Brewers are at. I have to put them in.
But I also when I do this stuff, I take into account the trust and believability factor. And the Brewers, come on, 7-3, cool. Brian Anderson's been a beast. I don't expect Brian Anderson to be a freaking MVP. Yeah, but that's my point. Whatever. I don't care. The 5-6. They're a better team than that.
I know they will, but like now, right this second, I'm looking at they're not top 5 right now.
Yeah, and right this second, I still believe they're the one of the best teams in the American League.
I hear you.
Baseball.
I hear you. But I
like your little, the way you're being delusional with your list. That's fine. It's fine.
All right,
let me see. To do that.
Let me see your delusion. Let's see it.
All right.
Let's see. What's your delusion?
Starting at number 5. All right. LA Dodgers. I know I felt, before the season started, I think a lot of us, you, me, we all felt like, oh, they didn't do much in the off season. I get that. I get it. I understand it. Like, I'm not going to think you're stupid for thinking that because I felt that way too. But to see the start they haven't had an unbelievable start by any means. I think they're 6-4, I believe. I'm looking at it now. Yes, they're 6-5. 6-5. I get it. They're not the Rays. They're not 10-0, but nobody is. Okay. But if you look at the Dodgers roster right now, if you are to look at the Dodgers and if you look at their rotation, if you look at Dustin May, what he's been doing, Julio Urias is a monster. I mean, Kershaw's Kershaw. Syndergaard hasn't been great. I get it. Michael Grove hasn't been great either. But there's just something about the Dodgers that this year, I think they know that people are saying, look, you didn't have a great offseason. Like the stuff I just mentioned, they didn't have a great offseason. You didn't go get any big fish. But Freddie Freeman's still there. Freddie Freeman has had an unbelievable start. Will Smith's still there, arguably one of the best catchers in baseball. Not the best, but one of the best, okay? Miguel Vargas has had a good start. As a prospect for the Dodgers, has had a good start. They still got Chris Taylor there, Max Muncy. There's just something about and James Outman has been, oh my gosh, he's been unbelievable for the Dodgers. Mookie Betts is Mookie Betts, okay? There's just something about the Dodgers this year that even with Gavin Lux going down, I can't bet against them right now. I think they're one of the top teams in the National League because they're playing with that chip on their shoulder right now. I feel like when I watch them, when I'm when I'm looking at like their overall, just putting out the overall numbers and into account too, like the Dodgers are going to be a team that I think they're going to surprise some people a little bit going forward. And yes, it took me a week or two into the season to kind of realize this, but boy, and they don't have any huge, gigantic names in that bullpen. But Evan Phillips, Phil Bickford, Alex Fezzi hasn't had a great start of the season, but like some of these guys, like, I don't know. There's something about the Dodgers right now where I couldn't leave them out of the top 5. The Padres, when I'm talking about the Padres, you know what I don't trust? I don't trust their pitching. I don't know. I don't know if I do. I know Musgrove's going to come back, but there's something about the bullpen. There's something about like Blake Snell. I mean, Blake Snell's like a big X factor for them too. Like, I don't know. There's something about the Padres that I think the Padres are a good team. They'll be a playoff team, but there's something about the Dodgers this year that where it's like, you know, well, we lost to the Padres last year and, you know, we didn't have this great offseason, but there's something about them that they still have something to prove, which is weird because they won the World Series a couple of years ago. But I feel like you want to respond there. So if you want to, go ahead.
So does this mean you don't even have the Padres in your top 5?
I never said that, but you're right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I figured. How do you not have the Padres in your top 5 at this point?
Because there's four other teams that I think are better.
Listen, I think
there's a couple of teams here.
Their lineup's so ridiculous. I think that, you know, they're what, 6-4 right now.
The lineup's going to carry them to the playoffs.
6-5. I think their lineup's too good. You got to have them still in the top 5.
I don't know if their pitching hasn't exactly given me all that much trust that they're going to be the World Series team. Like I know this isn't all about the World Series, but I know it's the power rankings. All right, so next team. Let's. I know. I'm sorry I upset you there. Okay. The Cleveland Guardians. Okay, the Cleveland Guardians. Again, another slept-on team. I think people don't talk about them enough because they don't have this sexy power like Mark McGwire's not. Okay, they don't have Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, Ken Griffey Jr. on their team. But you know what they do have? The Andres Jimenez's of the world.
Yeah.
They had the Josh Naylors of the world. I'm missing Stephen Kwan. I mean, Stephen Kwan is a super, you know, he's your modern day, like, you know, he should have been playing 20, 30 years ago. That's the type of hitter that he is. Okay. And then you got Karen Chak and Class A back there in that bullpen. And again, Bieber, after Bieber kind of had a rough start against New York yesterday, cleaned it up, only gave up 2 earned, I think. Bieber, again, is someone I feel like people forget about there in that rotation. So like Cleveland, man, I think Cleveland's one of the better teams in the American League. I think they can get to the ALCS no problem this year. They almost did it last year. They almost did it.
Yeah,
so
I like that pick. I do like that pick. I think
I'm not looking for your approval, but I
like that pick. I really do. I think, you know, they're a team that definitely could have made my top 5. But
they didn't.
6. I'd put them at 6.
Yeah.
How about that?
Okay, I respect that.
I'd put them above the Yankees. I put them above the Yankees.
The Guardians.
That's what I would do. Yeah.
Okay.
I like the Guardians. I do like the Guardians a lot.
I think the Guardians always they're like the Rays, even almost like they're just a team that, like, you know, you sleep on them a little bit and they pop up and kind of do what more than you expect them to do. All right, the next one, I think you had the Braves at number 2, right?
I had the Braves at 2. Yes.
Okay, so I have the Braves at 3. I think you know, even we mentioned the Ian Anderson thing, but the Braves are still a really good team. Yes, Max Fried's on the IL right now. But I think they lose 3 or 4 to the Padres? Yeah, they lost 3 or 4. But I still think they're just too good top to bottom, man. They're just too good. I think they're probably they might be the best team in the National League, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, Acuna, you got Acuna, you got Austin Riley. Like, I know we go through this every time.
Travis d'Arnaud is sneaky.
Yeah, d'Arnaud. And I mean, Murphy just walked it off for Atlanta last night. Like, Atlanta's just always they're a great team, man. I love the talent from top to bottom. So yeah, Atlanta's. I don't think I need to elaborate too much on Atlanta. I think it's enough said about them. I think. Go ahead.
So based upon having Atlanta at 3, having all the teams you mentioned, the Guardians as well, the Dodgers, you're telling me you have the Astros in the top 2 right now?
Let me finish. Let me finish. All right. Let me finish.
Oh.
So number 2. All right, John Johnson.
Start.
All right, John Johnson.
A terrible start.
John Johnson. All right. Love you, John. So number 2, Tampa Bay Rays. I couldn't, like you, I think you had them. Where did you have them?
I had the Rays at 1.
Yeah. So you know what? I respect that. I know we're like overreacting a little bit, but I just can't leave a team out of the top 5 that is good. And it's not like it's a team that you know, it was expected to win like 50 games this year. Like, it's expected to be still, like you said, like competing for a playoff spot. So I don't think it's like out of the realm of possibility. or out of just crazy to put them in the top, 2 right now when they, they're doing something that hasn't almost been done in like 20 years and almost 40 years with the Brewers. So I think the Rays, the team that starts 10-0 and hasn't done this in forever, is making history like that. You got to put them in your top 2. I think you have to. So the Rays are number 2 for me for sure. Talented team. Just, we've talked about their X factors before. Wander Franco's got to stay healthy. Glass now comes back, and can he stay healthy? Stuff like that. So, yeah. Like where I got the Rays there.
They're fine.
Are you okay there?
I'm fine with you having them at 2. They should be 1, but I'm fine. I just can't believe you have the Houston Astros right now. We're looking at right now, Francisco. The Astros are not the best team in baseball. Are you kidding?
Yes, they are, dude.
Not right this second. The Rays are the best team in baseball. They're the hottest team in baseball right now. You can't have the Astros at 1.
I get that, but like if we're doing power rankings, if I'm looking at 1 to 10, 1 to whatever, I still see the Astros right there at number 1. You know what Christian Javier is going to do for the Astros today? He's going to come in there. He's going to throw like 39 strikeouts, and he's going to be one of the best pitchers in baseball because that's what we expect him to be. The Astros, yes, not a great start, but the Astros are still a top 1 team in baseball right now.
Oh, dear.
This
is terrible. Listen, they're probably going to go back to the World Series. Which is fine.
Well, there you go. So there you go. Power rankings. Why are they in your top 5 then?
Well, we're doing power rankings based upon the first 10, 11 games of the season.
Based upon hold on. Cool.
That's the win-loss record. Cool. This is ridiculous.
No.
They've lost 2 straight series.
Okay, and after the first 10 to 11 games,
the Twins.
That's cute. Okay, so you're gonna win and lose series after the first 10 and 11 games of baseball this year. I still think looking at who they have on their roster, even who's on their rotation, I still think they are a World Series team. And looking at after 10 games, I don't care if they're 5-6. I don't care if they went 10-0 or went 0-10. I still think they're the best team in baseball.
They went 0-10. They should be nowhere near your top 5.
Okay, but 0-10. But like
should be nowhere near.
1-9. Then that's okay.
They're under 500 right now, 5-6. Not a great start to the season. They didn't start great last year either. I'd put them probably still right around the 10-ish spot in my power ranking just because of what they could do. But to have them at 1 as of right now in the season, they are not the best team in baseball right this second.
They are.
They're not the hottest team in baseball. The Rays are the hottest team in baseball.
They don't have to be the hottest team in baseball. The Astros don't have to be the hottest team.
Based upon my power ranking and my criteria, there's no way the Astros are my top 5 right this second.
Yeah, and Nick,
now next week they win. If they win a series,
that's what I'm saying. Like I expect the Astros to go on a hot streak. Yeah.
And what if that never comes? No, I'm just kidding.
Look, and I know that kind of contradicts what I'm saying about the Rays, but for me with the Rays, it's like they're 10-0 start, historical type of start. With the Astros, they're 5-6. They're going to get hot at some point. They're going to be one of the best teams in the American League. Until I see that, I can't leave them out of my top 1. They're the World Series winners. They've had some of the best teams in recent memory as far as like rosters for their franchise go. Like I'm not taking them out of the top 1 spot. I can't do that.
I don't disagree.
Get out of here.
I don't disagree. I'll hit the wait. I can leave, right? I can leave. I can remove myself. I'm in control. I want to
get to this all-time lineup. I want to get to this all-time
lineup. I can't have them in the top 5 right now. No, just because of the way they started the season. They got off to a slow start last year, as well. They were under 500 for a little while, but yeah, listen, I understand they're going to be probably in the World Series again. They're going to win the division, fine. But right this second, the way they started the season, they're not a top 5 team right now. They're not. They're just not.
Okay, but it's not like they start. All right, you know what? We're going to keep going all day. We're going to keep going all day.
Listen, wait. One more point. Go ahead. If you had them at 5, I wouldn't have been as mad. But the fact you have them as the best team in baseball right now, it's utterly ridiculous.
They're still better than the Rays, Braves, Guardians, and Dodgers, and all those teams you named.
Not over the first week of the year. No.
Okay, I don't. Good for you. I'm happy you think that way. All right, let's get to our new segment, Nick Earnshaw.
I can't wait.
Great idea by you. Again, that's not too many, come from you, but this is one. So I'm going to savor this.
The light bulb comes on. The light bulb comes on every once in a while.
Right, just like your ring light didn't.
Yes, that was a good one. That was sunny.
It's getting sunny. It's getting sunny over there.
It's funny with this ring light, right? That broke last week before the show.
Right.
It when I plug it in, it would like flicker, like a light bulb would come on and then it go away. That's kind of how it goes up in here. So
we'll have to get you some. We'll have to the shift to get sponsored so we can get some
need a charge. Need a recharge. Need a
Right.
recharge.
All right, so let's talk about our new series here, man. Seriously, great idea by you. And I we all think about all-time lineups when it comes to different franchises. It's not like this is a super new thing, but for us, we like to do this. So we're gonna go franchise by franchise, and I'm sure this can branch out into a bunch of different ways that we can do this, Nick. Our first thing is we're definitely gonna do top I guess overall lineups. That'll include a starter and a closer. I don't know if you did that, Nick. Did you do a starter and a closer too?
I did a starter. I know who my closer would.
Okay. It's pretty easy. Yeah. I think it's easy for you.
It should be.
Right. But for the new series to start, we're gonna do our top lineups, including a starter and a closer. For each franchise, we're gonna go through all 32. What is it? 30 or 32 teams? I forget. I get so mixed up with NBA, NFL, NHL. I think it's 30. It's either 30 or 32. I
think it's 30 for a major. Is it? I forget.
Should
I count? Should I just start counting? Should I just start counting teams?
Yeah, just do it on the air. Just like just for 5 minutes. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. No, not like count Dracula. All right, so
I think it's 30. I think it's 30.
What? I think it's 32. I mean, you could just Google it right now if you really wanted to. Let me look. 5.
Yeah, it's 30.
10.
All right. Yeah, we were right.
15.
We were right.
Okay, we were right. All right. Yeah.
15 in each. So, you know what threw me off when the Astros were in the Central and the NL and they had like more teams,
right?
Like everybody. Then I'm like, then I would get confused. Wait, is it 32?
It took my mind. By the way, it took my mind so like such a long time to just like be like, okay, the Astros are in the AL West now, not the NL Central.
But now, like, aren't you so used to it?
Oh, of course. Yeah, no. I'm just saying, like, what 10 years ago when it happened.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, also I want to give this out to the audience. If there's other obviously we're gonna go through every team and we'll get to that. But if there's any ideas that you guys give us that you would want to see this type of thing, where we could kind of do an all-time whatever, we can do all-time third baseman or all-time whatever. Like, well, there's a million ways you can go with it. But if there's anything that you guys want to hear us or see us do, if you're watching on YouTube or listening to us in podcast form, definitely give us the idea. Let us know in the comments on YouTube. Let us know on Twitter. You can obviously, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see our ats or our usernames down there below. So go let us know, talk to us. We're definitely, we would love the ideas. We love all that. But today, Nick Earnshaw, we're going to start with our all-time Los Angeles Dodgers lineup. I don't know why we decided to go with this. I gave you like a choice of 3 teams in the NL West. I think we wanted to do a historic franchise first, just to get it firing off the bat. I think it's a good franchise to do. Good pick by you. Again, you've been full of good picks today. I'm just gonna savor this moment. Nick, let's just you go first again.
Okay.
Just go position by position and just give me, player that you had. Even if you had tough choices, name those tough choices. But let's start with catcher. Give me your catcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
So I think we talked about this before the show. Catcher is like really tough for the Dodgers to pick. But I did end up going with, in my starting lineup, Roy Campanella. I had to go with Roy.
Not a bad choice.
You could have went the other way. Should I say his name? Who the other catcher could have been?
Absolutely.
All right, Mike Piazza. You could have went Mike Piazza too.
Yeah,
that's an also great choice. You can't go wrong either way. I mean, Campanella, 1948 to 57, he played with the Dodgers.
Right before I was born.
Yeah, right before you. I mean, way before my time. Right around when you were born. Yeah, right there.
Right.
242 home runs, 586 RBIs. Really, really good player. Batted 276 career with the Dodgers. So yeah, I had to go Roy Campanella at catcher. I think that was kind of the best choice over Piazza. I see Piazza moved around a lot too, so Campanella had to be my catcher. But then at first base, I'll go down to first base. Gil Hodges is my first baseman for the Dodgers. I think this one was tough because you could go a couple of different ways. You could go Steve Garvey as well. And I landed on Gil Hodges, and I think that was the right choice.
Yeah,
And
I loved watching him play.
Yeah, you definitely did. I'm sure you did back in your day. Second base. I think this is probably the easiest one we had. Jackie Robinson, no doubt.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer, absolute legend. 42. We know it. He has to be on this list, right? Justin Turner is my third baseman. I went Justin Turner for third base. I think he had such a significant impact. Was one I feel like the best free agent signings they had in a long time. Up until that point when they did sign him, and he was came up so big in the playoffs so many times. I had to go Justin Turner. This was a tough one too. I feel like because you could go Ron Say, I believe, right?
Yeah, I forgot how to say his name.
It's C Say, yeah. Absolute legend as well. But I feel like, I didn't want to. I'm not going like based on my criteria. I want to have like kind of the best lineup, mix and match throughout the different eras. I thought Justin Turner fit the criteria here for me at third base. Played a number of different. You could move him in different spots, but third base, I'm gonna go Justin Turner. I thought at the time when they signed him, came up big for multiple seasons. Had to go Turner at third base. Then we're gonna get to the outfield, which, I'm gonna go shortstop first. Pee Wee Reese has to be the best shortstop in Dodger history. Him and Jackie, dynamic duo.
Not Rafael Furcal.
I was gonna bring that up. Because that era of Dodger baseball, I thought about. I saw Furcal's name when I'm doing a little bit of research.
It's absolutely not Furcal. It's absolutely not. Go
ahead.
Yeah, Pee Wee Reese for sure.
I'm like, yeah. I could go for Call, but then there's this guy named Pee Wee Reese.
It's Pee Wee Reese by a mile. Yeah,
not close. But I'm gonna go to the outfield, left field. Only played 3 seasons with this team. Okay, 3 seasons with this team. Gary Sheffield. I went with Gary Sheffield as my left fielder. For the Dodgers. He had a number of good seasons with this team. I think the impact he made, huge. His numbers were through the roof with the Dodgers. Had to pick him. He joined him when he was in his prime. So Gary Sheffield for me has to be the guy here for left field. I know it's going to make some people very upset that I picked Gary Sheffield for an all-time Dodger lineup, but I'm going to do it. So in center field, I also picked Matt Kemp. Matt Kemp is going to be my center fielder. Matt Kemp, injuries kind of derailed his career a little bit. I wanted to go Kemp here. I think Kemp, when he was on the field, his bat was ridiculous. He could steal bases. He could do so many things when he was healthy. Injuries kind of derailed his career, but when he was on the field for the Dodgers in his era, he was a great player. So Matt Kemp, my center fielder. I'm gonna go kind of the same era. Little, I guess you could say it's a little controversial. Andre Ethier is my right fielder.
What? Go ahead.
Andre Ethier is my right fielder for the Dodgers. I'm bringing it back.
Ethier.
Oh, he was. I loved Andre Ethier. I think Andre Ethier is a stud. Had not the longevity you want probably in an all-time lineup, but I'm looking at those couple of years he had at the plate. Andre Ethier, my right fielder. And then a pitcher.
Go ahead.
And then my starting pitcher, Sandy Koufax, easiest one of the group other than Jackie Robinson. And my closer, Kenley Jansen.
Okay. Who'd you say your starter? I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Who'd you say your starter was?
Koufax.
Koufax, yeah, that's a good one. So I guess should I get into my list and then we can banter?
Yeah.
All right, so let's do this, Nick Earnshaw. Let's do it, baby. All right, so because you brought up some good ones. Like Matt Kemp's a good one. I don't know why I didn't think about Matt Kemp. Matt Kemp was a recent good Dodger. So I'll start with catcher. I went with obviously like the career that Roy Campanella had with the Dodgers, like overall career. Like he was there a long time, a couple of MVPs, I believe, like Roy Campanella. You know what though? I'm gonna take Mike Piazza for his peak that he had.
I figured you would. Figured you would.
Right. So I thought Piazza, when he was with the Dodgers, was just a monster. Again, I get it. Campanella played there a long time, but Mike Piazza, early on in his career, when he came up with the Dodgers, I think the one year he had like 39 home runs before he went to the Marlins and then the Mets. Yeah, he had 35 home runs, one Rookie of the Year in '93. I mean, hit 40 homers in '97. Led the league in OPS plus. Led the league in OPS plus in '95. I mean, top. Let's look. MVP voting finished 9th in '93. MVP voting finished 6th, '94. Next year, 4th, 2nd, 14th, first. Just kidding. 14th after he got traded from the Dodgers to the Marlins and then to the Mets, where we know he was a great Met as well. But I don't know, man. Piazza's bat was legendary, bro.
It was,
had
man.
a 7 WAR in '93. 8 a WAR just under 9 in '97. I mean, that's like unbelievable for a catcher. What the heck? So I mean, Piazza's my catcher. Okay, I like your pick, Campanella. I don't think you can go wrong there, especially like he had the longevity.
Yep.
Campanella was he's an icon. I get it. So is Piazza though. Both Hall of Famers. First base, I went with you, Gil Hodges. Agree with everything you said there. I mean, when I was at these Dodgers games, man, I mean,
back in the day,
it was right back in the day when I was at these Dodgers games. It was some incredible baseball to watch. I got a few Gil Hodges autographs that are in in my closet.
Catch foul ball? Did you catch foul ball from him too?
Oh, just a few.
Yeah. Nice.
So going to second base.
Did you wear like a suit to the game too? Is that what you did?
I look like Connie Mack. I look like
you had the hat on.
The hat. Yeah, that was me. Well, I'm actually like 6'5", and I know I look short on here, but I'm actually like 6'5". I mirrored myself after Connie Mack. All right, so second base, I'm in agreement with you there. Jackie Robinson, enough said. Legend, icon, what he did for the game. Obviously, he was an unbelievable player. His ability to hit the ball, his play discipline, unbelievable. Stealing bases, defense, everything. Legend. Next one, third base. I like your Justin Turner pick. It's a good pick. I don't think it's a bad pick. It's hard to argue with that. But I think right before he left to go to the was it the Mariners? Was that where he went right after? I'm gonna look. I think you know who I'm talking about. Don't say it yet. Right before he went to Seattle. Then and he's more known as a Texas Ranger. I think we all understand that. But he was actually there towards the end of his career. And he played with the Dodgers for 7 years, played with the Rangers for about 8 or 9 before he ended his career. Adrian Beltre was a monster for the Dodgers. And really, really, honestly, before that season where he hit 48 homers in 2004, Turner, you probably could have argued Turner a little more. But look, when he was a Dodger the year before he left, 48 home runs, baby. 334, 388, 629 slash, OPS over 1,000. Finished second in MVP voting that year to Barry Bonds. Well, duh, like anyone lost a MVP race to Barry Bonds in those days. I mean, Barry Bonds had a 10.6 WAR. Adrian Beltre had a 9.6 WAR. 9.6 WAR is out of this world. So obviously, maybe he wins the MVP in any other year. Look, 200 hits that year for Beltre. I mean, 104 runs scored. I mean, Beltre was a monster. I know I'm only going off that one season, but I'd take that Beltre in 2004 over any Turner season.
Listen, you know what I'm saying? I'm with you. Like Adrian Beltre is that's a good pick. I mean, he was on my list when I'm going down looking. He was. I definitely considered him. I just thought the impact Turner made, winning the World Series. I think what he did in the postseason. I valued that a little more. But I mean, you can't go wrong with Beltre. I cannot hate on that one at all.
Yeah, like I said, I like the Turner pick too. Shortstop, Pee Wee Reese, we were in agreement there. Not Rafael Furcal. Didn't really think about him until, I just wanted to be
I saw his name pop up. I'm like, wow, I forgot about Rafael Furcal when I was doing my research, trying to figure out some number crunching.
He was a good shortstop for them.
Yeah, he was good. Not Pee Wee Reese, but
I hated him though when he was on the Braves. I hated him when he was on the Braves, Furcal. So we go to outfield. Did you not mention Duke Snider?
I didn't put Duke on here.
What is wrong with you? Yeah, your list is already
Duke on there. I didn't want to put Duke on there. I was going. Listen, I wanted to do different eras.
Is it because it's Duke?
I wanted to go different eras, right? I didn't want to go all the way back. I wanted to go all my outfielders in the recent era. That's just how I went with it. It might not be great thinking, but guess what? I think this lineup is winning a World Series. Didn't want to put Duke on there.
So you want to put Andre Ethier over Duke Snyder? Have it that, people. Have it that, people. You did that on purpose, right? Just to be weird.
No. Listen, Andre Ethier had a great career for the Dodgers. Great career.
A good career. Yeah, he did. He did. In terms of like, you know, compared to like.
And I wanted to pair him and Matt Kemp together. That was my goal. I didn't want to put Duke Snyder on.
That's cute. Are you a closet Dodgers fan?
Not even close.
Okay. All right. So Duke Snyder clearly over Andre Ethier, no doubt. I'm in agreement with you about Gary Sheffield. Like, Gary Sheffield should be up there. I mean, Sheffield played with it for a bunch of different teams, so it's really hard to like. I mean, I don't really know if Gary Sheffield were going to the Hall of Fame. I don't know what cap he would wear. I mean, we all remember him when he was with the Marlins early on in his career. Won a batting title with the Padres way early in his career. People don't know that sometimes. Yep. The Yankees. I think, you know, some people might remember the Yankees. Milwaukee sucked there. And then the Braves, he was for a couple of years. Yeah. I believe right before that he was with the Dodgers.
Yep.
And I mean, Gary Sheffield was one of the better hitters.
He came over in the Piazza trade, didn't he? Isn't that what happened? I think. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong.
Oh, let me look at Sheffield's numbers real quick. Or let me look at his page.
I could be wrong.
He came over to the Dodgers. You might be right. Oh my God. Is that true?
Came over in that trade.
I think that's a great dig by you. Good job.
I think. I'm not positive.
But no, you might be right.
I think he did.
But just look at his numbers for the Dodgers over those 3 years that he was with them. I mean, the full seasons he was from 99 to 01, 34 homers, 43, 36. OPS, I mean, well above. You're looking at OPS plus 140, 176. 164, all well above league average. Very good hitter. Plate discipline, power, contact, all of that. Gary Sheffield, not the greatest fielder, and maybe he would be in the Hall of Fame if he wasn't such a bad fielder. But Sheffield definitely has to be up there for me for his time when he was with the Dodgers. Yep. I'm in the last one. Oh gosh. I got Sean Green, baby. Sean Green was absolutely a beast that people don't remember about. I think it was either with the Blue Jays or it was with the Dodgers. He hit that 4-homer game against Milwaukee. It was probably the Dodgers, unless it was an interleague game. I mean, look at these numbers when it was the Dodgers, man. I'm going back. Look, and he played. It was low, and he was durable. My gosh, first year with the Dodgers, 162 games played, 24 homers, 116 OPS plus. Okay. 44 doubles, double machine there. Led before that year, 45 doubles, led the American League the year before that. The next year, he said, you know what? I'm going to hit for a little more power. 49 homers, okay? 125 RBIs, even though RBIs don't matter. 6th in the MVP voting, okay? The next year, 2002, 42 homers, backs it up. 285, 385, 558 slash line. OPS plus 154, okay? Then the next year, not so great. 19 homers, 280, whatever. But still, OPS was serviceable. It was 16% above league average. Then the next year, 28 homers, OPS plus 113. Look, I like Sean Green for what he did at the plate. He was a beast, man. People forget about Sean Green. When it was the Blue Jays and Dodgers in his prime, he was a monster. I'm taking him over Andre Ethier any day of the week. No doubt. You might have an argument there with Matt Kemp, but we can go back and forth about that. Matt Kemp was a good player. I'll give you that. But Sean Green was a good player too. I'd put Sean Green there and right center or whatever you want to go.
Yeah, wherever you want to put. Listen,
you're hating
on my. I'm fine with it. Listen, I said in the beginning this was not the best player at each position. That's not what I was going for. I wanted to put together one of the best balanced lineups.
Yeah, and Sean Green, it's a balanced lineup, baby.
Having Andre Ethier in that lineup is fantastic.
I can't wait to hear what people say about this.
Career 285 hitter, had a lot of really good seasons, was an all-star twice, rookie of the year voting, finished 5th his rookie year. I like that. I think he was a nice player. He was such a nice player, consistent. He was durable. He didn't miss a ton of games. He only did really towards the end of his career. Right. I think in his prime, 2010, 2011, really, really good player. And then back in 08, batted 305, his slugging percentage career, 463. It's a nice player. I had to add Andre Ethier in him. And, maybe I have a little bias growing up during that era. Yeah, I like Andre Ethier.
You're right, but that's a good point, because you know what? I grew up, I like Sean Green, and maybe that has something to do with it. Okay,
I think it does.
Let's be honest. Like when it comes to a lot of people's opinions, probably 99.9% of people's opinions, this is just facts, is that you take emotional connection into account. So
I think so.
But the problem here is that you're wrong, like straight up. Like Sean Green was I'm putting, as we speak. Hold on, I had to unplug my phone. I'm making a poll right now. Who are you taking in their prime? Andre Ethier or Sean Green? I will tag you in this.
I'm just saying, I'm just gonna say this. He has a better career batting average than Sean Green. So I'm gonna
here we are talking about batting average. My God,
go that has a better OBP than Sean Green.
I'll let that happen.
Has that as well. Has also I'll give Sean Green. He's a little bit better slugging percentage. Fine. I want to take Andre Ethier because of the consistency. I think Andre
Sean Green didn't have consistency.
I thought, Andre Ethier, I think for that era was great. Pair alongside Matt Kemp in my lineup.
Yeah, put Sean Green in the same era, and he's gonna destroy.
So now we're gonna put guys in different eras. I'll put Andre Ethier back in the 20s, and he'd be the best player in baseball.
Don't get me upset, bro. Let me finish my list. We're gonna be here all day talking about Andre Ethier and Sean Green. That was great. All right, starter. When it comes down to the starter, if I'm putting somebody on the mound, obviously, I think it comes down to this. Kind of just popped in my head because you were just talking about if we're trying to win a World Series, it's Game 7, right? Game 7 of the World Series, and I understand that. And I respect your criteria besides the Andre Ethier stuff. So like if obviously, I think we can both agree it comes down to Clayton Kershaw and Sandy Koufax. Like, I mean, they're very similar pitchers, very, different eras, but each best, look, if you want to talk about like, their longevity of their career and all that stuff, Kershaw's is, he's had a longer career, I believe, than Koufax. But Koufax's peak was otherworldly. Not that Kershaw's wasn't, because it was otherworldly as well. It's not that far off, but from what I understand, I think Koufax is a bit better of a postseason pitcher. And big. Yeah. I don't know if he has does he have a no hitter in postseason? I don't know if he does or not.
I don't know. But I mean, we know the struggles of Kershaw in the playoffs. Got over the hump, got the World Series. But so you can't really go wrong.
Yeah, that's cut you off. I mean, I'm looking at his numbers right now. 0.95 ERA in the playoffs, and that's in 8 career games, 57 innings. I mean, so Koufax gets he won. What's this? He win? Looks like he won MVP, or no, that was just MVP in general. I don't know. But regardless, Koufax's career peak. I mean, his career was obviously unbelievable. He pitched in 12 seasons. It sucks that he didn't pitch in more. I don't know if injuries were the issue or what it was. But I'm taking Koufax over Kershaw. Kershaw, great pitcher too. But
won the Cy Young Award and the MVP in '63. Koufax.
Okay. So I'm gonna go to closer here, and you said Kenley Jansen. That's a good one. Kenley Jansen was a good pitcher. Again, your emotional attachment. I get it. Were you there for Eric Gagne, bro?
Okay. Yeah. No, I think it was a little before me. Eric Gagne was a little. Was it?
Yeah. So his historical season. So you know about Brad Lidge's historical season with the Saves and the Phillies, but before that there was Eric Gagne. Eric Gagne. I mean, he was so good in his peak. Again, his peak was very short, but Eric Gagne was so good that Barry Bonds.
That was like early 2000s, right?
Correct. I'll go look at his numbers real quick, but early.
Yeah, totally forgot about him. Forgot.
Yeah, I obviously that shows your age. So in all seriousness, 55. I mean, he had that save streak. I think it was from 02 to 03. Led the league in saves in 03, or led majors in saves 55. I mean, for that 3-year stretch, dude, like Eric Gagne was otherworldly from 02 to 04. Now, obviously, we also know about the steroids and everything, but I mean, so did everybody else in that era. I mean, I'm just looking at 02 to 04, 179 ERA. That's good for a 223 ERA plus. That's 123% above league average. It's unbelievable. And 247 innings, 152 saves, across those 3 seasons. A 13.3 K per 9. I mean, the guy was, and he won a Cy Young in 03. I mean, relievers don't win Cy Youngs. Even Mariano Rivera doesn't have a Cy Young to his name. So Eric Gagne for me, man, I go back to those early 2000s when, like, my interest in baseball was really like peaking as a young kid. And Eric Gagne was just unbelievable. His fastball and his breaking ball, that combination, it was impossible to hit in his peak. It was impossible. Barry Bonds, challenged him. I don't know. This was like 2003, 2004, where he told him, I think the at bat was, I don't know if you know about this, Nick. Eric Gagne, basically, I don't know if they talked to each other, and Bonds said, next time, if we ever face each other, you can only throw one breaking ball. And they did it. If you can go watch it, if you haven't seen it, Nick, I will send it to you after this. You can YouTube it and find it. Basically, like, Bond steps in the box, and they both said, like, to each other pretty much, like, it's on, like, all right, let's do it. So I think Gagne threw one of his curveballs to him, or a changeup, whatever it was,
Right.
and then all he had left was fastballs. Threw him all fastballs, and I think Bonds took him deep to center field. It's like the deepest part of the park.
Huh, I did not know about that story. I did not know about that story.
Oh man, send that to me. Yeah, I will send it to you right after the show's over. Yeah, it was it's an awesome I mean, it's historical. But Eric Gagne, man, like, he was that guy. Okay. And obviously Kenley Jansen, incredible career. I don't know if he's gonna make the Hall of Fame, but he'll have, obviously people will probably debate that after his career's over. Had a good season last year for the Braves too. Yeah. Kenley Jansen, again, great pick. But Eric Gagne, man, I go back to his peak.
You're going to his prime, the short. That's what I did with Sheffield.
If I'm thinking about Eric Gagne in 2003 with his 1.20 ERA, with his nasty stuff, with his Cy Young Award, that type of thing, I mean, his FIP was under 1 that year. It's unreal.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So Eric Gagne is my pick. I like your Kenley Jansen.
I'm going
pick.
Kenley. Yeah, I have to go Kenley. I mean, for how long he did it with the Dodgers too. I mean, with them, he was with them for so years. The 2016, 17, 18, 47, 41, 38 saves. Ridiculous. I mean, it's getting close, almost at 400 saves for his career, at 393 career saves.
Yep.
The longevity is there for me with Kenley Jansen. But listen, Gagne's peak, totally forgot about him. His peak, ridiculous. Totally ridiculous.
Yes. So
I can understand that pick.
Yeah, I like all of your picks besides one. I don't have to name it again because I don't want to, we've beaten it into the ground at this point. Andre, whatever. I hated Ethier, man. You know what's crazy? I hated Andre Ethier when he was on the Dodgers, because when the Phillies were making those runs, they always had to deal with Andre Ethier and Matt Kemp and all those clowns. But Matt Kemp's a good pick. I liked your Matt Kemp pick. I thought you had some good teams there, man. Good job. Good job.
Yeah, good job to you too. I liked yours too.
Thanks.
It was good.
All right, let's close out the show here, Nick. I think we're gonna try to do this just like we had the Dodgers segment here with the all-time lineups. We're gonna try to every now and then. This is the shift. We are, we're trying to, we talk about the new rules. We talk about, how baseball can improve going forward. How it can, how it's going to evolve and stuff like that. That's a part of what the shift is. So one segment I want to bring, maybe once a month we'll do it, however so often we do it. We're going to do, each of us will brainstorm, and, each of us will come to the table with one idea that can make baseball better. So I'll start here. And I will give you one idea that I think will make Major League Baseball better in the long run. And I mentioned this probably a month ago right now, right? With the World Baseball Classic. I don't know what baseball has to do to make this happen. I don't know if they had to pay people to do it, or if they could somehow, I don't know how they're going to do it. But you know how, like I said, at soccer games, you have that one section that's just going wild the entire time. Just like in the World Baseball Classic, you had all that energy, especially from the Latino countries, and the U.S. Shout out to the U.S. too. Yeah. We went crazy too. But the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, they showed out. Baseball needs to have some type of look. I get it. Back in the day, I don't know if you remember, Nick. Might have no, in all seriousness, might have been before your time with Randy Wolf and the Wolf Pack. Do you remember that?
I remember the Wolf Pack.
You remember
yes.
And yesterday, while we were both watching the game. Jeans came back because Jeans Segura. Yeah. That's all great. I love that. It's great. But we need to have some type of a rowdy section where we pay the maybe Phillies decide they'll do like a raffle or something. It's like, oh yeah, you send us a video or you send us something on social media or email them something of you going crazy. And you're one of those 1,000 people in that section where you're just going wild the entire game. Right. I don't know how they would do it. I don't know if it'd be weird if they paid people.
Well, didn't they kind of have this in Seattle with Felix Hernandez? Do you remember they would have that one section?
Yes, but they were just it was like voluntarily, right?
Yeah, I think so. I believe so.
Right, but that wasn't the entire game, though, right? That wasn't to strike people out. That would just be to strike people out.
But that was like the idea. That's the idea of it,
right?
To an extent.
I want something where, like, look, I'm not the biggest soccer fan, but at the same time, like, I've been to Union games. I've seen them on TV. The Sons of Ben, when it comes to the Philadelphia Union soccer team, they're going wild the entire game. And so a lot of soccer fans, that's the nature of that sport. I get it. But the Sons of Ben is a section where, I don't know if they're season ticket holders, whatever. They all come out to every game and they're just going wild the entire game. I understand soccer is a different sport. That's a different type of thing. But if baseball could have that type of thing, I think that would make the game a little more exciting, and it would make it a little more exciting to go to. And it's that spectacle. When you go to a Union game, about the Sons of Ben, and it's like, oh my gosh, like that's exciting. That's cool. Like I don't know. It could be a way to improve the game a little bit as far as entertainment goes.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea because baseball's had kind of trouble marketing and getting people interested, right? And knowing who some of these guys are, right? Yeah, I like that idea of having the fans just be more involved, more engaged, and bring up the energy a little bit sometimes at games. Because if you're going to, I don't know, a Rockies game in in the middle of August and they're out of contention, something to drive up the energy.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
It's not going to happen in Oakland. With 3,000
right.
fans,
but Vegas, though. Vegas, that could happen in Vegas.
Vegas,
there it is, baby. Hey, put us in your marketing department, but sign us up. We'll get paid.
Well, the Vegas A's. How about that?
That's
Vegas
some
Athletics.
Las Vegas Athletics.
Las Vegas Athletics.
All right, give me your idea. I want to hear it.
My idea is, listen, like we just mentioned, there's 30 teams in major leagues. And we just mentioned the A's being a team that's probably going to move. I want to see some expansion, man. I want to see some new teams. You want like the Nashville,
whatever? You want Nashville?
I want some expansion into Major League Baseball. That is my thing to make the game better. Let's add some more intrigue, right? We're already changing the rules. We're already, we're trying to speed up the game. The last team, I guess, was the Rays, right? That was an expansion team, right?
Was it? Okay, so Nationals technically weren't, right?
Technically, but they were the Expos.
Yeah, so they
Expos,
weren't,
right?
Like the Rays were a completely new team, right?
Completely new team, Tampa Bay. So
the Rays might have to move too, though.
Yeah, they might have to too. So instead of moving teams around, let's add 2 more teams. I want to see, generate some new fans. Hockey's added some new teams over the past couple of years. Why not baseball? Let's have baseball and Seattle Kraken as well. Let's have baseball, have a new generation of fans. They're trying to have a new generation, right? Let's have some expansion teams. Let's find a place. Nashville, great idea. If the A's move to Vegas, it's not an expansion team, but let's add 2 more. Let's find another location to add another. Nashville's a great spot. You could go Carolinas maybe. But yeah, I'm all for adding new teams to this new era of baseball.
I don't think it's a bad idea. Do you think, let's talk about hockey for a second. Do you think that Vegas and Seattle have added interest to hockey? Overall, I'm not even talking about just you.
I would say so, yes, because Vegas made it their first year to the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, but that's different because they made it. That doesn't really happen to
have an expansion draft. Could you imagine an expansion draft right now? Oh,
that'd be fun.
That'd be fun. How fun would that be?
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah,
it'd be
especially
cool.
be a baseball nerd. Like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would definitely
Expansion draft.
agree with that.
Oh, it'd be great.
Yeah,
What teams are gonna keep these guys, and like, who are they gonna take from this team? Oh, it would be awesome.
I agree with that. I like that answer. And this look, this is intended to get our brains flowing and get to brainstorm about these new ideas. But that's the fun part. I like your idea. I like it. Look, I cheated a little bit. I went back to my my World Baseball Classic thing, but I also think it's a good idea. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah,
So
be fun.
I like your idea.
We're about adding fun to the game, right?
Yeah, expand baseball, expand 2 teams, and give us some some crazy sections. Give
Yeah.
us, yeah, you know what I
I
mean?
like it. New era, man. It's a new era.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Look at that. It's a new era, just like the ball, just like the cat, the hat, whatever. All right, let's really close out the show now, Nick. Let's talk about some bets we take. I know you're a DraftKings guy, right? I think I'm more of a FanDuel guy, so we got a bit of a rivalry.
I'm on BetMGM.
Oh, so we're rivals. Okay, we're rivals.
I guess. I mean, I check all the different books, but usually BetMGM.
Right. I just look. I'm a FanDuel guy. That's just the one I have. Maybe I should check out more. But I'm more of a FanDuel guy. All right. So I will. Let's go back and forth here. I'll give you one bet, then you go, and we'll do 3 each.
These are for tonight's game. Yeah, I have three.
Yeah, whatever you got. I know you mentioned you wanted to do something for the season too. If you want, we can do that. But I'm just gonna. I wrote down 3 that I'm taking for today/tonight. So I'll go first here. I have the Guardians playing the Yankees again today. I'm going to take Josh Naylor to hit a homer off Garrett Cole. He's plus 500. Obviously, you're not going to take the easy bets. We're talking about bets that you possibly make a little money. So Josh Naylor plus 500 to hit a homer off Garrett Cole. If you look at his numbers for his career, pretty solid. But he has 3 homers and 18 at bats against Garrett Cole. So I think it's worth maybe risking. Look, I only put a couple dollars or $1 on these bets. So I think for me, it's worth it to take, whatever, he has pretty good numbers against Cole. I'll take that. So Nick, give me a bet that you like.
All right. So for tonight, I have a Jacob deGrom prop bet for everyone today. So I wanted to go a little outside, nothing crazy. So in his past 2 games, first 2 starts of the season, I should say, had 7 strikeouts in his first start against the Phillies, had 11 in his last start. So I wanted to kind of, switch it up a little bit. And I want to go take the under tonight. It's the Royals versus the Rangers. I'm going to take the under. It's 9.5 strikeouts for Jacob deGrom. I don't know if he goes over 9.5 and gets 10 or 11. I don't think he goes double digits in strikeouts. I could see him maybe have, in his last outing he did, but first outing he did not. So I'm going to take the under tonight for Jacob deGrom in strikeouts against the Royals.
Okay, good one.
That's on FanDuel 9.5.
Okay. Way to stick with the home team. Next one. I'm gonna stick with the home team here. Aaron Nola. It's I guess it's like a double bet is what you call it.
There you go.
I'm still learning. As you
parlay. You parlay?
Yeah. Parlay, go away. As I was saying, I was so stupid. Aaron Nola Aaron Nola 8 strikeouts, and the Phillies to win against Miami. I like that. I think it's of course I didn't even write it down. It was like +3 or +400 on FanDuel. I forget which one it was, but I like that bet. Aaron Nola has progressed his first 2 outings. His first outing wasn't great, but his second was much better. I think against not a great Miami lineup. I think I don't think it's the worst bet to take in the world. So I will take that, Aaron Nola. And no, I don't bet on Phillies games because I can't, because it's emotional. I know you do that, Nick. I can't do that. I can't be double mad if they lose. Just like this bet's a double bet. So I'm taking that bet though. Aaron Nola, 8+ strikeouts and Phillies to win against Marlins.
I'll stick with the same game with you. Bryson Stott tonight on BetMGM. Over in hits tonight. It's set at 0.5. He's going to get a hit tonight. He has had a hit every single game of the season so far. 10-game hitting streak. 7 multi-hit games in those 10 games to start the year. Bryson Stott's going to get a base hit tonight. That's an easy bet for you. If you want to add that into 1 year parlays tonight, definitely throw it in there. Stott's getting a base hit tonight. Over in hits.
So where's your Alec Bohm bet? You bet on Bryson Stott, but you didn't bet on
Do you want me to bet on? Do you want me to
give me the best hitter in baseball, right? The best hitter in baseball. Why don't you bet on the best hitter in baseball?
I wanted to take stock. I'm going with a different young guy tonight. I wanted to go with a different young guy.
Say,
I know you don't. I know you don't.
Guys. You don't stick to your guys.
I'll take you know what? Throw out a Alec Boehm homer tonight too. Why not? Alec Boehm's going to get another home run, 2 straight games. Why not?
I don't disagree.
3 straight games.
Boehm's been destroying the baseball.
Yeah. Because he's going to be one of the top hitters in baseball.
Right, but he already is though, according to your Twitter. If you go to what is it, Nern_9, go there, look at his last tweet. Yeah, get the heck out of here.
You're such an Alec Boehm hater. Such an Alec.
I'm not a hater. I'm just I'm not feeding into all the look at him. He's always the best baseball. All right, next one. Ryan McMahon, 3+ hits against Miles Michaelis and the St. Louis Cardinals tonight. I think I had the numbers up here on my screen. I'm pretty sure McMahon has some pretty decent numbers against Michaelis. I think it's at like plus 500. Of course, I just don't know. I'm coming to the table with these bets and I didn't even write them down. Man, that shows how good of a podcast co-host I am. But I'm going to go double check real quick because I had FanDuel up. Because I'm not, obviously you're not going to take a player to get 3+ hits if you're not going to win some money. So it was plus 950. Oh, absolutely. Yes. And I think his numbers are pretty decent against Michaelis. Yeah, I love it too.
One.
So
yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, that's my last one. McMahon,
tonight, Corbin Carroll. Gotta go him over in total bases tonight. He's gonna reach base once again tonight. So it's set at a half a base. He's gonna reach base tonight. That's on BetMGM. I would take those odds, take the over on total bases. Corbin Carroll,
we love him. We love young players. We love young players that are going to help improve the sport going forward too, because we're all about baseball just being great going forward, and we love our prospects. Jordan Walker, by the way,
your
9-game hit streak to start the year. What the heck?
Oof.
What the heck?
Stoddy, and Walker. These guys are on fire.
They have a 9-game hit streak.
He's at 10.
Is he?
He has a hit in every game.
Okay, you know what it was? The thing with Walker is that it's he's like the first. It's like Ted Williams and literally Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy are the to start his career. 9 games. It's an unbelievable. Go off, bro. Go off. We
young
love
players, man.
Yes.
We love our young players.
Big deal for the Cardinals lineup too. They could definitely use some Walker. All right. So Nick, I thought today was a good show.
It's fun.
Minus the Andre Ethier and Alec Boehm stuff from you, I thought it was a fun show. Look, the Rays, I gotta keep an eye on the Rays. All of us are keeping an eye on the Rays.
Yeah, man.
Especially tonight. So I think it's gonna be fun, man. So yeah, it's gonna do it for today's show. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. You see that all the social media on the bottom there. Make sure that you listen wherever you listen on your podcast. Make sure you subscribe to us there. That's gonna do it for us. We'll see you guys next week.